Oh, yeah, we're here. We're live. It's happening. It's the Friday Night Dive. I am Mark Meyer. Welcome to the Feeding the Monster podcast feed YouTube channel, because that's where we do these now. You know the drill. If you've been with me for maybe just once, I sit here and I ramble because there's nothing better that I do than ramble. And you might see me get a little bit toasty while I'm at it because I grab a drink, and I encourage you to do the same. And we just chat. We just chat like friends, like peers, like equals. That's what we do. So cheers to you, and drop a chat in the drop a comment in the chat. Let me know what you're drinking. Let me know what you're up to. Hello, everyone. Welcome. Happy Friday. Oh, okay. So usually my go-to choice, if I'm not drinking a sort of beer, then I'll drink Jameson. But this is Rock and Rye Slow and Low. This is a rye whiskey. Okay, this is a house favorite over here. And I cannot tell you how many times I have been I've had great times on this stuff, and I've had some terrible times on this stuff. There's usually a lot of in between, but this is the first time I've had Slow and Low in a while. But I completely endorse it. I advocate it, and if they want to sponsor the show, please do. If anybody knows anyone who works for Slow and Low, wherever they brew it, I think they brew this. Is it in Kentucky? Let's see. No, actually, Philadelphia. This is brewed in Philadelphia. So weird, because full disclosure, I'm not a big Philly fan. I'm talking about the teams, and I'm talking about the city itself. So, we got McGee in the chat as always. Hello. And then we have Chris. I can't call her by her last name, so this one's Christy. That shirt, yes, I'm wearing my my baseball style tee Beetlejuice shirt. Sandworms, or actually Sandworms from Saturn. This is Dune. This is a shirt from the upcoming Dune, because the sandworms and everything. Except in Beetlejuice, the sandworms don't look like big old anuses. So you got that to look forward to. Consider it stolen. Yeah, over my dead body. Good luck. You can steal all the tank tops from me you want. You're not getting this one. Nope. So anyway, how you doing, ladies? And if there are gentlemen in the chat, just making sure everything is up to par. It is. Something good coming out of Philly. I don't believe it. You shouldn't believe it, Carly. Nick Carly, everybody. This is good people. We like this guy. Hung out with Nick Carly in Atlanta for the live Schmodown, and that was a blast. The only good thing to come out of Philly is the show It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia and Slow and Low. Again, if they want to sponsor the show or the podcast, that would be great. I would not not complain. You will hear no complaints from me. So how's everyone's week been? What's going on? What's the skinny? It is officially October, and I don't know, depending on where you live, how it's feeling outside, but it's actually for Tennessee, October, it's kind of chilly, because we're used to having it be relatively warm for a while. I remember, what was it? Might have been 2 or 3. No, it had to have been 2 Halloweens ago. A buddy of mine were out and about, and I had on like a really lazy costume, but I had a jacket on with it, and I was sweating just sweating so profusely because it was so hot. So why did I choose a lazy costume with a jacket? I don't recommend anyone do it. Old Handsaw in the chat. What's up, buddy? How you doing? Glad to have you. What are you drinking? I know you're drinking something. McGee says it's sweater weather in New England. I see what you're doing. You're just trying to reel me in to come to the New England area, and you know what? It's not a hard sell, especially considering the New England states are the ones that are A-OK. And I am in a state that is not. Your winders have been open for a week. Is that a euphemism? A chill in the air in North Carolina? Yeah, man, it's weird. Like the South actually feels like we're getting seasons, and it's strange because we either get balls fury hot or ridiculously freezing cold. There's usually not for many years has there felt like there's been an in between. But we are especially in the appropriate times. But I got to tell you, this the tail end of September here, and now we are in October. It feels like fall for as long as we'll get it. Hashtag sponsor him. Hashtag sponsor Mark. Sponsor or the FTM pod sponsor. Slow and low, please. I would love that. Hansel's eating a Pop-Tart. What drink goes with that? The 12-year-old me would say milk, but the 33-year-old me is going to say whiskey goes with Pop-Tarts. So get yourself some whiskey. It does not matter what kind of whiskey. McGee says a milkshake. So, I mean, there you go. Windows. I know. Oh, I see. Winders. You went. Oh God. Christy went full Southern with that. She even spelled it like that. Yikes. Yikes. You know you can't put that in the chat because I'm gonna read it as is. So yeah. It's been a week, man. It wasn't so bad over here. I'm mainly talking about everything that was going on in the the shit show that was all over the media that I didn't even watch. Didn't have to. I just I got on my social media and just read what everybody else was saying, and I'm pretty much up to date. Instead, I threw it on IFC, and they were just doing a Parks and Rec marathon, and I thought this is about as good as anything else. So we're good. We're good with that. Jim Beam, it is. You know what? Hey, you do you, man. It's whiskey. You're doing you're doing it right. Full Wilson County. Ooh, yeah. You went full Wilson County. All right. You should have asked what flavor. What the milkshake? What flavor milkshake, McGee? Tell us. Let us know. Apple Orchard cinnamon. Is that? Oh, Jim Beam makes an apple orchard cinnamon flavor. Is that a thing? That sounds either awesome or terrible. Both the Christies seem to think that's a cool idea. Well, I'll tell you something. If you give me apple liquor of any kind, I'm going to be really mad at you because incident not that long ago, and by we I mean me and Henry, my roommate, where we ordered Jameson shots. Okay, Jameson Irish whiskey shots. And I will not say her name, but there was a particular bartender at this particular watering hole that we were at the time. If you can pretty much, if you know me at all, you can pretty much guess where that was. But this particular bartender decided that she wasn't going to check the liquor bottle. She just saw green. The Jameson in a green bottle, okay? Which means that if you're not paying attention and you're looking for Jameson and you see another green bottle where the liquors are, you're going to assume If you're this person, you're going to assume that that's Jameson. So that's what she did. She assumed. And she poured the shots, and right away I get it to my nose. I went, that does not smell like Jameson. I don't think that's what this is. But we took the shots anyway because they're like, maybe, I don't know what happened. And it was apple liqueur. It was this god awful apple liqueur. Like, you probably make apple teenies with them. I don't know. But I took that shot and I looked over at Henry, and I'm sure the face I was making was, I mean, I don't know what kind of face I was making, but I know I made a face, and I was not happy. And sure enough, she looked. I said, "What the hell did you just give us?" She's like, "I gave you Jameson." Like, no, you did not give us Jameson. What the hell was that? And she finally looked. She's like, "Oh, it's this apple liqueur." And it's like, yeah. Like, how do you make that mistake? The bottles aren't even the same. Matter of fact, I don't even think that bottle was green. It was the liquor that was green, and she just assumed it was a green bottle. So yeah, surprise apple. Yeah, that's exactly what it was. It was a horrible surprise. Um, our other friend and bartender Kirby thought that was the funniest thing in the world, and she still tells people that story. I said, I'm so happy our distaste gave you so much joy. But that's accurate. That's probably exactly the face that I made. I don't know, but I can tell you, this bartender wasn't my favorite to begin with, and the fact that she would make that mistake really set me off. So do not give me apple liqueur anything. Um, I had some apple cider, hard apple cider recently that I decided today was not for me. So no, thank you. I like apples. You keep your apple and your booze away until Thanksgiving time, when I make my hard cider, which is basically this old recipe apple cider, and then I just pour a shitload of Captain Morgan rum in it. It's good. It's amazing. See, s'mores Pop Tarts all the way. I remember those being awesome, but I got to tell you, if you're gonna give me Pop Tarts and it's not the frosted strawberry, then I'm gonna be upset. But surely you all have bad bar stories or mishaps, if you will. That one is just one of many, but it was on brand. Hot cider and rum, I'm telling you, yeah, it's good stuff. At least this what I make is good stuff. There's a gnat flying around here and I can't get it. I feel like it's gonna land in my drink, and I'm gonna drink it, and I'm gonna like catch malaria or something. I like unfrosted Pop Tarts. Well, McGee, you're wrong. Nah, you just don't. I guess you can only take so much artificial flavoring. I I get it, but to me, if if you don't have the frosting on the Pop Tart, then it's like, why bother? Because it's just doesn't seem worth it. One year I'll bring you pie from Dragon Con. Euphemism? You're full of them tonight. Right? Yeah. See, I'm glad I'm not the only one. Hansaw's with me. McGee doesn't know. McGee doesn't know. Oh, okay. So Hansaw's got Jim Beam. Christy, what do you got going on? McGee, what are you drinking? McGee, you're probably not drinking, are you? You're probably urban it up. Urban it up with Mark's late talk show. Talking about anything. It's the official drink that makes cider and rum pale in comparison. Uh, Dos Oh, okay. So Chrissy's drinking a Dos Perros, which is from the Yazoo Brewery here in Nashville. It is good stuff, especially with a lime. Got to give it a little twist of lime. Good stuff. Wonka Bar tonight. The Wonka Bar. McGee, do you want to tell the chat, in case they don't know, what your Wonka? I know what your Wonka Bar is. Would you like to tell them what your Wonka Bar is? Because it's pretty cool. I must say, I'm jealous when I saw you get that. It is she's got this like a literal Willy Wonka bar, but there's something special about it. I might have just given it away, but still it's pretty extraordinary. Ooh. You have to be careful with slow and low because that'll sneak up on you. That's why it's called slow and low. Because it's tasty, it's kind of it's rye whiskey, so it's got a little bit of sweetness to it. Not overkill like Jack Daniels, but good enough to where you can sip on it and keep on sipping, and you're real good. And then before you know it, bam, drunk. And there you go. An edible chocolate bar, my golden ticket to the moon. Yeah. So I'm assuming we can rest assured that McGee has has landed on the moon, probably currently, but in the process of devouring this Wonka bar. Heavy stuff. But I'm jealous. I saw a picture of it and I was like, I want that. Um, it might I might literally bite off more than I can handle, but that's part of the fun. Um, might as well try it. Got to experience all the stuff. So, something I'm gonna do differently here. If anyone decides that they want to jump into the actual show and join me uh, via cam, what have you, let me know. I can make that happen. I can send you the link. Because you can, as you can see, I'm soloing. I'm on a solo mission this time around. I don't have the other FTM boys with me, the pants panel, if you will, or I'm not interviewing one of my old musician buddies. It's just me here. And my, you'll notice in the background, I got my LED fire lamp. That you can't really see it from here, but it's fire. It's awesome. I love that thing. Thought it would bring a new kind of nuance to the show. No longer in Earth's atmosphere. Ah, there she goes. This is Major McGee to ground control. She's gone. Yeah. But it's got to be fun. It's got to be that's got to be a fun trip. I can imagine because edibles usually hit a lot harder and a lot more potent than if you just like smoked it. Just, and this is not me. I am certainly no expert in the matter. I'm just saying based on experiences. Uh, Edibles usually hit the spot real good. And plus, it looked tasty. But maybe one day, I'll find a way to get a hold of one of those. Until then, slow and low. But yeah, let me know in the if you want to, you can hop up on the call and we can chat and we can actually we can, if you haven't been on here before, we can introduce you to the world. Only if you want to. But if you don't, all good. Keep chatting me up. See, you'd laugh at my tiny piece of edible that can knock me on my ass. I actually no, I probably wouldn't laugh. I would go, wow, then that must be a really strong piece. And good to know that it wouldn't take me like it wouldn't take much. That's good. That means that you have so much more left over, you know. I'm a profile consumer in the edibles every day. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Um we had a an incident with edibles not that long ago as well, and uh needless to say, we learned the do's and the don'ts from that experience. It was awesome, but it was also kind of freaky. Quite freaky. Oh, how was everyone's week? McGee is you're on like a little mini vacation, so good on you. Um, Christy, your week's been so, I think, based on conversations. Handsaw and Carly, if you're still there, how was y'all's week, man? You know what's funny? I tell people that I'm doing this all the time, and then I get hit on like every other social media when it's like, no. If you're gonna talk to me, like talk to me here. This is where I am. Not that I mind. I'm just saying it's like it's. I just find that funny. Well, I mean that's one way to do it, I guess. Good, good for her and you, whichever. It's all good. Better not. That's good, man. Yeah. Everybody's working for the weekend, and we adore our weekend time. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, ask for some. Ask for some. You should do that. She why should your daughter have all the fun, right? 3 days until new tattoo. Ah, I envy you, man. I still got to get my Cthulhu portrait colored. Um, Rochelle, if shout out to Rochelle if you watch the show later, or if you're in the chat now, you're probably not. But we gotta at some point when it's safe, we gotta get together and we gotta color this thing, because not that I don't love it as is, but it needs color. So please, need some color. It already looks creepy now, but it could be creepier. Here's a little Bob Marley. I'm suspicious. I'm not a Bob Marley fan. I know that's probably gonna throw a lot of people off. And like, no, I'm just not. Never been. What is a weekend? How do I get one? Your weekend happens in the middle of the week, because I'm pretty sure you have 2 days off in the middle of the week, so that's your weekend. And then you have Sundays, I believe. So yeah, you get a weekend. It just happens at different times. There you go. Okay. Well, you should be suspicious at that point. The creepier the better. It is. Well, I mean, for this particular tattoo, yes, the creepier the better. Needs to be creepy. It's Cthulhu. You don't want well, maybe you do. I don't want like innocent, sweet looking Cthulhu. No, I told her straight up. I said, make him creepy, like as creepy as you want. I gave her like free reign, and she came up with the design, and I went, yes, that. And we just kind of talked about what it was going to look like with color, and I was like, oh my god, yes, that's what I want. and it still doesn't have color right now, but soon it will. Soon, even though it's been a while. I don't want one position. I want all positions. Name that movie. No, that's not how we can have stuff. Well, okay, but it kind of is. It's kind of your weekend. Now you're gonna pout. You're gonna pout. Okay, that's fine. It's fine. What are some of you guys pr- going to watch for it? I know people love to do the 31 days of Halloween on during October. Nailed it. Fifth Element. Chibi Cthulhu. Yeah. Well, yeah. No, that's a thing. Like my brother. It's like the store my brother works at. You can get the little figurines of Chibi Cthulhu's. So I'm certain people have tattoos of Chibi Cthulhu. So if you do, bravo. I don't want that though. What was I saying? Oh, the 31 days of Halloween. People love to do it. So what are you guys preparing to watch and view? What is a staple during the October autumn Samhain Halloween season, whatever you want to call it. So, ooh, just gonna read it. Uh, yeah, for me, I mean, I usually don't start doing the Halloween fest stuff until later in the month, like the 20th of October, and then I just like dive in. Obviously, my favorite horror movie is Halloween, John Carpenter's, so that gets watched probably a couple times. Whatever Halloween themed horror flick that I can come up with usually goes on. Trick or Treat by Mike Doherty is fantastic. If you haven't watched that movie, you should. It's awesome. It's like little anthology stories, but they're all connected and they're all based on the Halloween season. Kiss Me's the Phantom. Kiss Me's the Phantom. Oh boy. I gotta say, I don't think I've ever seen Kiss Me's the Phantom. Not all the way. I've seen clips of it, and that was enough because whoever told these boys they could act needs to be fired. Probably was fired at some point because they didn't do another one. I'd prefer the Family Guy version of Kiss Save Santa or Saves Christmas, whatever it was that Peter Griffin kept trying to watch. Um, I want to see that. But yeah, for me, I gotta watch Halloween, Trick or Treat. Um, there's The Witch by Robert Eggers. In the last couple of years. That's sort of become a staple now because that movie is just jarring but awesome. Uh, something I try to watch something classic like my favorite Universal classic monster movie is The Wolfman, so I probably will watch that now that I have a copy of it. Um, because I got to keep it, mix it up a little bit. So bad, it's not really. I mean, it is what it is. Um, I will not be watching the 19 what is it 94 or 92 Dracula movie. Bram Stoker's Dracula from Francis Ford Coppola. 92, 92. Um, and I'll tell you why, because, and I'm probably going to piss a lot of people off. That movie does not hold up. That movie is not a good adaptation. It's not a good movie. And like, I get what Coppola was trying to do. He even said, he goes, "No, I was going for like a dark erotica film. It's like, okay, cool, you did that, but you did that at the expense of integrity of this film. No longer, this is substance over style. And it's hilarious that this is the that he did that. He made this film based off this literary, you call it a masterpiece, call it what you want, this high iconic literary piece, and he adapted it because he wanted to make it a dark erotica movie. And it just completely, he filled it with stars that weren't right for the roles. And it's a train wreck of a film. It is substance and it is style, no substance. And it's ironic that that guy who did that is the same guy who hates and has been, who publicly outrageously said how much he hates superhero films because he thinks they're all style and no substance and not good style. Like all the superhero films, all the Marvel shit, he's like, I hate it, I despise it, it's dumb. It's like, first of all, who asked you, you pretentious hack? Like, the last good movie he made was probably Jack with Robin Williams, and not a lot of people like that movie. I like it. I think it's good. But yeah. So I just find I just find it really ironic that this same guy who wants to trash talk superhero movies because they're very stylistic, he gave us a Dracula movie that has zero substance and all style. And say what you want about the style. I think it's overrated. McGee watches a couple of Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Streets. Already got to Scream. Yeah. So I usually, if I'm going to watch Nightmare, it's going to be the first one and maybe New Nightmare because that one's really good. But the first one's special and I could do without the sequel. I take that back. Dream Warriors, the third one. For nothing else, for the soundtrack. So okay, so I'll watch that. I'll also watch. You reminded me, Hellraiser 1 and 2. I'll watch those for sure. Hansel watches Nosferatu and the Cabinet of Dr. Caligari. Hey man, you're going to super old school, and kudos. That's my thing. Look, if you're going to watch a Dracula movie, don't watch Francis Ford Coppola's version. Watch the Dracula, the Universal Dracula movie with Bela Lugosi, or Nosferatu, or the Dracula, and I'm blanking on the name of it, but whatever one Christopher Lee played Dracula, that one, just for Christopher Lee alone. Hocus Pocus is nope. If I could throw you out of the chat, I would, McGee. You lost so many points right there. Yeah, I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna break some more hearts. Not only does Bram Stoker's Dracula by Francis Ford Coppola suck, Hocus Pocus is not a good movie, you guys. But I will let that one go because I understand it tugs on the nostalgia heartstrings for a lot of people, not just you ladies, but like the dudes too. And I have nothing against Bette Midler, and I have nothing against bye. I'm sorry. I have nothing against Bette Midler or Sarah Sarah Jessica Parker. Oh yeah, for sure. And the unsung hero of the film, the other sister that I am just completely blanking on her name, but she was in the Sister Act movies and all that. But and look, Doug Jones plays Billy the zombie, and he would go on to be Abe Sapien and the Silver Surfer and countless other roles. Doug Jones is in my opinion, a national treasure. But that movie is it's just not, if I'm going to watch a witchy movie, I guess, a fun witchy movie, I'll watch The Craft. Which, speaking of, I don't know if you guys follow me on social media, but they've decided to make another The Craft. But based on the trailer, they can't decide if it wants to be a remake or a sequel. or just a reboot entirely. They can't figure it out. Even in the trailer, they cannot figure out what they want to do. And they basically given the girls what they just have witch powers. Like they just have like it's basically superpowers, but they have them because witches. It's like that movie The Covenant with Sebastian Stan and Taylor Kitsch, and whew, that movie is rough. Rough. You know an awful lot about hookups. Yeah, you know why? Because I've watched the movie many times. That's why I can confidently tell you it's not good. It's just like because I've seen it enough to know. It's just I'm good like that. Um, I'd rather watch the Eats We've over Hocus Pocus. Yeah, I agree because that one is that cast is stacked and it's entertaining. If nothing else, just to watch Jack Nicholson crumble. uh, why chose? Why chose? Huh? I don't know what you're talking about. Use your words, McGee, because you are confusing me. I am a confused man. Uh, but yeah, I don't. Hell, watch The Witches and The Witches of Eastwick above Hocus Pocus because Hocus Pocus. I mean, I feel like Hocus Pocus is cool if you're of a certain age group, and maybe that's my problem. Like once I grew up, I went, yeah, choose? Oh, why choose between why choose between the movies? I mean, like, okay, that's what I'm saying. Like, you don't have to choose. I'm not. I'm just saying. I'm just. This is my personal take. Okay, you do you. Everyone, you do you. You're gonna watch what you want to watch. You said these were your musts. This is just why I don't subscribe to that because I don't get why many people do, but it's hey, it's their own thing. It's their own thing. It's kicking. Yeah. Yeah. The Wonka has invaded the brain. It's past. It is not. It's nowhere near. Don't be such an old lady. If old Handsaw can hang, he's got old in the title. So can you, McGee. Am I right? But yeah, okay. So all right, well, what else you got? I would assume Nightmare Before Christmas would be a must for many people. That to me is a must for you get 2 seasons with that movie. Uh, so it's the best of both worlds. Um, I got into a a semi small argument with Christy in the chat, not McGee, the other Christy. Um, for those of you not in the know, and it was she was watching Edward Scissorhands, and I said, "You do know Edward Scissorhands is a Christmas movie, right?" It is. She said it's both. I go, it's not both. It's one. It's not. At no point is Halloween remotely mentioned um, in Edward Scissorhands. But Christmas, it's all about Christmas. So Nightmare Before Christmas isn't all year long. I mean, yeah, sure. No, Beetlejuice is year round. So I definitely will be watching like a lot of Beetlejuice because it just the aesthetic just works. Even though it's technically not even a holiday movie, but and it's not a horror movie, but it's wacky and weird. It's early Tim Burton, when he gave a shit. And there you are. And that was your closing thesis. It's both if I want it to be. Like sound logic. Uh I mean, again, you do you, but Christmas. Just like look, Batman Returns is a Christmas movie. So Beetlejuice is an Arbor Day movie. I don't know what that means, and I feel insulted by it. So you zip it, Arbor Day. What even is that? Is that like an East Coast thing? Arbor Day. No, seriously, I don't know. I don't celebrate Arbor Day because I don't know what it means. Uh, yeah, Beetlejuice for sure. Basically anything I can find that's remotely creepy, I will watch. I'll find a way to make Halloween sense out of it. Southerners hate trees. They do. They do. Because, we chop down so many. And also, it's not that we hate trees. We just, the Southerners just don't give a shit about trees unless they want to live like on a lot of land so that they can hide their houses behind trees so that they can have an excuse to shoot intruders. So, not all of us hate trees. See, yeah, Christy doesn't hate trees. I don't hate trees. I would say Southerners, in a general sense of it, sure. I don't know. It depends on the Southerners aspect of it. It's northeast. It is northeast. Obviously, it must be because Arbor Day. The only frame of reference I have for Arbor Day is the fact that Patton Oswalt made a kind of a bit about that. Um, one of his bits about the old Polish Lady of Doom. I'm not going to explain it, but look it up. I'll tell you. What if I cut this light off? What would happen? It's a little. It's a little bit. It's a little dark. Damn it. All right. Well, maybe I can adjust it. There's that fucking gnat again. It's making me look a little too shiny. Anyway, just had a bunch of trees killed in my yard today. Well, darn you. Why did you do that? Those poor trees. Do you not like breathing? See, shame on you. Yeah. Do you not like air, oxygen, CO2 that they produce? Because they're good. They're good like that. My yard is all roots. All roots. Well, okay. That sounds like a problem. Maybe. Um, Christy's basically one step away from being a woodland creature herself. So she's definitely a Southerner that does not hate trees, or plant life of any sort. So there you go, McGee. Don't overgeneralize all of us. Um, but I tell you, here lately, at least in our part of the world, with the storms we were having these last few months, having a lot of trees in the area has not been a good thing because they've been uprooted, they've fallen over. Houses have been, yeah, like I like my roofing. Well, yeah, roofs around have been caved in. The city put up a fence outside our yard without permission, but they just did it because they could. And now that fence is barely standing because the multiple storms we had caused the trees to fall right on it, and it's just like this jumbled mess. It's crazy. So it's like that's sweet karma for you. It's like, how dare you put up a fence back there without asking? And this is what happens because we will not have it. The the woodland creatures and the pagan gods that reside in the backwoods where we live were like, nah, bro. Nope. You're not putting a fence up. The highest compliments. I mean, I'm nothing if not a romantic speaker. I got words to swoon. It is sometimes what I do. I am it is known. Sweet gum trees don't deliver this. Wow. Harsh, yeah, harsh indeed. This fucking gnat over here, man. Go away. Thank you. I think I got it. Mark's war with the freaking the insect critters or the pests of all kinds. Yeah. This would not be my first time. Did I ever tell you the war of the wasps that I went in the summer of 20 of summer of 2020? It was either 11 or 12. 2012. It was the summer of 2012. Okay. Um yeah, you did. It was a gnat, so if you must mourn the gnat, have at it. But if that bothered you, you're really going to be bothered by this story. It was the summer of 2012, and deep in the heart of the Delta in Mississippi. I was attending college at the time, and when I wasn't in class during the summer, I was at home, staying at my family's house. They lived in Mississippi at the time. Anyway, it was hot, very hot, unusually hot for even a Mississippi summer in the Delta. And what brings what warm weather brings other than dead grass and sweltering heat and humidity brings about the mosquitoes and the wasps. And on this particular time, in the backyard of the home, there were not one but two different wasp nests, two colonies in different areas in the backyard. It was getting to be a problem because we couldn't go out back without being invaded by a swarm of these things. Normally, this wouldn't have been a problem, except that we had three dogs. And while the dogs are usually unbothered by these things, the wasps started coming after them too. Not only that, the wasps would dive bomb into their bucket of water that we had. We always like would constantly be refilling this giant bucket. It was their water trough in a sense, and these wasps would just dive in and just invade the water, and the dogs didn't want to drink it because they're like, no, what the hell's going on here? It became a problem. And no matter how many times my dad or somebody would go out there and try and to rid themselves of these wasps, they kept coming back. Well, I decided I was going to take matters into my own hands. And I supplied myself with two large canisters of wasp killer. I put my dogs safely inside where they were away from harm. I went out back, went out to one nest where I knew. See, at the time, I only knew that there was where one was located. I couldn't find the other, but I knew it was out there. But I went to one and gave it hell. I sprayed, I kicked, I punched. The wasp did not go down without a fight. Even and funny story, wasps don't drown because I tried to drown them in the buckets of water and that didn't work. They just kind of swam about and then eventually crawled out and flew away. It's like, how do you guys not drown? So I kicked the bucket over, and that seemed to piss them off more. So swarm after swarm, they're coming at me. Them spraying, swinging my hands, swinging my fists, kicking as I go, getting stung a little bit on the way because I could feel it, but I'm like, no, not going out like this. Eventually, got to the colony, the nest, and I crushed it. And in the process, I crushed all the wasps that were around there, but still, they were coming at me. And I said, okay, I have to locate the second nest. And I searched around the yard, took a breather, collected myself, realized I've been stung a few times. I'm okay. Like, that's good. I don't have a wasp allergy. So otherwise I'd be dead. Did you ever see My Girl? Anyway, and I located the second one. And this one, they were even more determined to stop me. I suspect maybe there was a queen or something. But I found the nest. I came at it with everything, spraying and spraying right at it. And again, they came at me. And I sprayed and sprayed. It was kind of like a video game. I'm spraying as the swarm is coming at me, and like one by one, before they can get too close, they're flying away to avoid the poison, or they're falling to their deaths. And on that swarm, none they got close, but none of them stung me. And I pushed my way to the nest, and I found it, and I crushed it, decimated it, killed every last living thing that was flying around me. And I tell you, when I was the last one standing, that backyard became a wasp graveyard. For like a week, they were all out there. It was ridiculous and awesome, and I've never felt more like a badass, because I went to war with, because look, grown people can't stand one wasp, because like one wasp freaks them out, like, and they'll like run away. I live with one of those guys. But me, I'll punch a damn wasp in the face. You know why? Because I went to war with the wasps. They don't want none of this, because they know what I'll do. And that was the War of the Wasps, summer of 2012. It was a nightmare for them. My girl, too soon. Yeah, you're right. Too soon. 25 years ago. Or however many years. But that story I told you is 100% true. And also what was true, a few days later, I was leaving campus, and there was this wasp that was flying around the parking lot. And a buddy of mine was just like, "Oh God," because this wasp was flying around, and it started to fly around me, and I looked at it, and then it seriously went the other way and didn't come back. Like, I didn't have to swat at it, I didn't have to move, I just looked at it, and it saw me and went the other way. It's almost as if he knew. It's almost like he heard stories, like, that's the guy, that's the hunter. Like, it made me wonder. I was like, aha, see, my reputation has gotten around. And unfortunately, those stories with the wasp colonies did not spread over here, because we've had issues with wasps over here as well. But I tell the boys all the time, I said, look, I don't give a fuck. I will punch a wasp in the face. I have done it. One of them got in our house one time and was just kind of like chilling on this bag that was near the trash. So I was like, oh, that bag's trash. I go to pick up the bag to throw it away. I didn't see it. But I just felt this pain in my finger. I was like, what was that? And then, it was like started kind of like swelling a little bit. I was like, what just stung me? And then there he was kind of like crawling around. I was like, oh, and I killed it by punching it. I was like, you little bastard. It knew not to fly away, because it knew that its days, the moment it decided to sting me, as like, yeah, take that. I'm like, you're dead. You are so dead. Because wasps aren't like bees. Bees, they sting you and there goes their stinger and they're done. Wasps, they'll sting you and they'll just keep flying around. Assholes. But yeah, so I ain't scared of no wasp. I'll punch them. I might get stung in the process, but I'll do it. But true story. That was my shining moment. McGee's allergic to temper. Okay, fair enough. So we don't need Macaulay Culkin, stay away. We don't need an incident like that going on with you. Me, I discovered the hard way that I am not allergic to them. And when I got stung that other time, my finger swelled up a little bit. It was like it it swelled up for like 30 minutes, and then it went back down. I was like, okay, we're good. So I don't have the allergy, or I'm just my body built up an immunity to it due to the war. But yeah, that was a good time. Not a fun time, but a good time because we didn't have a wasp problem at that house ever again. Like never again did we have a wasp problem. They knew better. The summer after that, which was my last summer at that house, um, never again. And then mom and dad were in that house just like 2 more years after that, and they didn't have a problem with wasps either. So I was like, "You're welcome. That's because of me, man. That's me. I did that for you. I liberated you from these pests." That was yeah, that was never felt more like a giant. And that's a big deal for me because I'm, I'm not a tall, super tall guy. So to feel like a giant is rare. But do you guys have any disaster stories of the sort where you went to war with nature and won, or did nature win? But you still, managed to be, unharmed ultimately. Ah, the sound of the beeping. Someone's having trouble with the door. Mm, well, I don't know how to answer that one. Yeah, man, nature's scary, but that day we discovered the maniac is scarier. Now, had I not had those those like bug spray canisters, then I don't know what I would have done. I'd probably just would have found a fucking tennis racket or something or a baseball bat and just swung it wildly, and probably would not have come out as unscathed. But alas, I did, and therefore, McGee got between a mother duck and a duckling once and was chased away by angry mamas. Mama duck chased you away because you got what? Okay, no. What were you doing in the middle of her ducklings? Were you helping it, or were you just over there intrigued by the duckling? Because it just doesn't seem like a good idea to get involved. Hansel does not mess with Mother Nature. You know what? Ultimately, that's the best decision. But sometimes, when you got to go to war with nature, you got to go to war. Jason, yeah, I knew what you were saying. Yeah, I don't advocate going to war with nature, but sometimes man versus nature has to happen. Sometimes it's just part of life, the life cycle. And ducks are jerks. So maybe I don't know. Maybe it wasn't your fault. Maybe it's just that mama duck was a piece of shit. It was at a pond. I didn't know. I went in between. The baby was hiding in the. Oh, okay. Okay, yeah. So that duck was just a dick. Ducks are, that just oh my god, Christy, are you still? Yeah, there you are. Rabbit or duck? You know what I'm talking about. But let's see. I have no qualms with nature. We play nice. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You say that now, but one of these days you're gonna have to go to war with nature, and you're gonna have to pray to all your pagan gods that you come out unscathed. Boom. Ducks are jerks. Fuck ducks. Eat the shit out of them. As long as they're not as long as they're not bothering you, but if they're in the way or they're coming at you hard like that for no good reason, then like to hell with them. That dude be straight. We're gonna duck out. Sorry to leave you with the bill. Ducks are all gamey. We're not talking about flavor, Ted. Or no, it was rabbit was all gamey. That's what he said. So, How I Met Your Mother references for those of you who don't know what we're talking about. But yeah, no, ducks are dumb. Ducks is dumb. Turkey's like shiny things. You can drop one with her. The girls did not like that. But look, turkeys are the stupidest animals like ever, and don't tell me that they're not. They are. It like scientifically speaking, they are so stupid. And there's too many of them. And they're mean. Like turkeys are mean. Did you see that video of that turkey that like chased a woman to her car for like just because it could? Because it was like peacocking and everything. I was like, what an ass. That lady wasn't even doing anything to that turkey. That turkey just decided and like come at her. I was like, you're a dick. What's wrong with you? And I think it was like still yelling at her when she got into her car. It's like, you know what? You're lucky it wasn't me, because I'd have kicked the shit out of you, and then I would have taken you home and roasted you. Turkey. We eat them anyway. We do. It's not their fault. Well, it's not their fault that they're stupid. No, it's not their fault that they're stupid, but it is their fault that their stupid brains can't comprehend to make sense not to mess with bigger animals like people. Lots of turkeys can visit my yard. The dogs try to imitate them. He tries to imitate them. Well, he can't eat them because your dog is like your dog is like fun size. Your dog looks like it runs on batteries. The wholesome talk. Oh, the Christies connecting on the merits of turkeys. I'm not here for it. So turkey bacon's so good. Turkey bacon actually is good. As a matter of fact, if you can't have pork bacon, go for turkey bacon. It's really good. I hope you do, because I want to see it. No, I am pointing out that you have a tiny dog, and that if your dog tried to get vicious with a turkey, that turkey would probably lay the smackdown on that dog, because your dog is fun size. Am I wrong? Yeah, drop a picture in the chat and you let them decide for themselves. You have a tiny ass dog. I adore your dog, and I'm not a Chihuahua guy at all, like at all. But I adore your dog. But let's be real, your dog is tiny. What? But I like huskies because they're fluffy and they howl, and I like to harmonize with them when they howl. He's only part Chihuahua, the good parts. Can you elaborate on that? The good parts? Elaborate on it. His size? Is that the good parts? I often get my ass kicked by the fun size one over the giant one because the fun size ones are mean. He has a sweater with a turkey on. Of course he does. Yeah. Have you ever dressed him up like a turkey? Yeah. Okay. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. You have to elaborate on the good parts Chihuahua. It's I hope by the good parts is you mean he doesn't shake uncontrollably like a Chihuahua and doesn't have uh based on pictures I've seen, your dog doesn't have like obviously your dog has the big eyes like a Chihuahua does, but not like the bulging, crazy, ridiculous eyes. Unless I'm remembering that wrong, but based on pictures, it doesn't seem like it. So that's a good thing. Uh yeah, but you would know better than I. It would depend on the big dog and how hard they bite. Like I've taken a full hard vicious bite from a chihuahua before, and while it hurt and it pissed me off, I was like, well, you okay. It's like I don't hit animals, but like I will punch you in the mouth for biting me. Like we had our friend April went to school with, she had this chihuahua, and that dog was the biggest dickhead in the animal kingdom I have ever come across. And I've come across most of the time, the dogs I don't get along with are chihuahuas. That's why I'm not a chihuahua guy, because people either raise them wrong or they're just wrong in their brains. I don't know, because like they're always mean and they're always just jerks. And her chihuahua was a bastard. Like you couldn't get, she would have game night at her place, but you couldn't get anywhere near her if we were like sitting at a table and you were sitting beside her for like a card game. You couldn't get anywhere near her because that dog would bark at you and then like either like bite you hard on the ankle, or she'd pick him up and then he'd lean over and bite you on the hand if your hand was like remotely close. It's like, what an asshole. I hated that dog. I told her straight. I was like, I'm never coming to your place again because your dog is an asshole. The good parts: his eyes don't pop, good, and he is nice and doesn't shake, awesome. But he is tiny. That means his poop is tiny. Okay, fine, fair enough. But is it a yapper? Is he like a super yapper? Because that can get old real fast too. We just use drugs. Well, yeah. Dog drugs. Dog drugs. He's very quiet. Okay, well then what you have there, McGee, is an anomaly. And yeah, you better hold on to that little guy. Very quiet. A very quiet chihuahua. I've never heard of it. And he wants to be a turkey. Yeah. I almost don't believe you. Like now I wanna come hang out and meet this little guy. Uh just so I can say she was right. He's a good chihuahua, and hey, I don't hate all chihuahuas because this one's actually really good. He's learning a new language. He's learning Turkish, and that means he'll be bilingual, which is nice. Dog drugs or puppy uppers, puppers. Yeah, yeah. Let that one sing. Puppers. Yeah. That's fine. I'll just pat myself on the back for that one. We can't have because of allergic reactions from those two. We can't have a house dog. Also, our schedules are all weird, so having a dog at this house would just be irresponsible. So We don't. I wish we could. We can't have a cat either, which really bums me out because a cat would have been so helpful, especially like the last 2 years with our freaking rodent problem. But what are you gonna do? But we would have had the allergy thing not been a factor. We would have had a house dog a long time ago. And I think about like what kind of dog would fit the motif of this house and like our personalities. Big dog would be cool, but I mean we don't have a big yard. We don't have like the house is spacious enough, but it's not like huge. So yeah, it makes I wonder sometimes like what would our house dog be? More downers than anything. You can't buy it when it's not. That's a good point. Good point. Nothing worse than irresponsible pet owner. I know. Yeah, I know. Um, and Christy can speak more to that since she works directly with them, the pets and the owners who own them. Uh, yeah, no. I've known irresponsible pet owners, and they upset me. And I have seen animals that come from homes from irresponsible pet owners, and it breaks my heart because it's like, no, this animal deserves so much better. Um, so that's why that ultimately allergies for them aside, that's why we can't have a pet over here because, or at least not a dog or cat because a cat would be easy, but a dog we can't because we're not our schedules just don't. It would be the taking care of the pet would be not an equal thing. It would be one of us is taking more care of this animal than two other guys, and it's a recipe for disaster. Too many are willfully ignorant. Yeah, like I said, you would know for sure. You see it every day. Irresponsible pet owners cuts down all the trees. Yikes. Uh-oh. Hansel just outed himself. Hey, man. This is your come to Jesus moment. Unless you're suggesting that the trees were your pets and you just decided to get rid of them. Because if that's the case, then one, why do you have trees as pets? And then two, you should have just let someone adopt them before you cut them down. Oh man, I was gonna refill, but I don't have any ice. I suppose I could. I'm not. No, I'm not gonna drink that neat because you drink that neat and it'll go straight to your head like immediately, especially after your second glass. And again, I'm not the expert. I can only speak on experience. But I think if we were to have a house dog, it would be probably like some mixed breed mutt, like part beagle and collie. A border collie would be awesome because those dogs are smart as hell. I'm trying to get my daughter to move out and take her dog with her. If your daughter moves out, then where are you going to get your your secondhand intake of herbal medicine? At that point, you're going to have to tell her to yo, cough up some goods, man, if you're going to be living here. Either the gnat is back from the dead or it's a different gnat. Why are we getting so many gnats right now? Fucking hell. Annoying. What kind of dog does she have? Good point. Yeah, it is a good point. That's what I'm saying, man. Got to think of the bigger picture, man. Or McGee will bake you special cookies. You were supposed to bake me some special cookies. What gives? I wants the special cookies. I needs the special cookies. No, I'm a big fan of the edibles, so you know, when someone says assorted baked goods in edible form, oh, you guys, there is a new place near here called Beans and Greens, and it is all these. It's a bakery, all natural, like vegan esque, but also a lot of CBD infused recipes, and they can't say it for legal purposes, but I'm pretty sure like edibles of the baked goods variety. There's probably some more potent than others. I have and it just opened up. Now I don't know how it works. I don't know if you need to have like a special card to get these baked goods. If that's the case, then straight up that this shit's potent. But like I said, I think for legal purposes they can't say it, but I think it is. I think they do have some cannabis pumpkin spice sugar daddy cookies. Hey man, I don't shit all over the pumpkin spice stuff like everyone else. Although that picture you sent did freak me out and I showed so many people just like it was pumpkin everything. I said, "Okay, this is excessive. Like people need help." Husky pit. Yeah, lab mix. Oh man, that dog sounds awesome. That sounds like an awesome, good, big dog. And fluffy, probably. I don't do cookies, but strawberry cookies. Well, I do cookies. McGee's late night diner, her baked goods filled with funny stuff. By funny stuff, we mean the devil's lettuce, the After Dark menu. Yeah, I like that. McGee After Dark's menu. Nah, we'll workshop that. The After Dark menu. I like that. Don't mind my groceries. That grocery list was excessive. I mean, I can bake infused cake. Well, I wish you would, and I wish you'd bring it over, and I wish you'd share. Come on, I wish you'd share. We enjoy such things. Please. That dog is huge. I bet, like freaking husky lab and pit mix. Yeah, I bet that's a humongous dog, or probably like a stout dog. Is it more stout than long? Because it seems like it could be both. Because huskies get big, um, labs can get big. My old lab Jet, God rest him, he was a bear. He looked like a freaking black bear because he was so big. You've never had. I am quite sure I have. Well, I'm asking now. How about that? Please. Never asked. You know that ain't true. Just made another big batch of oil, so I've got lots of bacon. Oil? You made oil? Huskies are small, big though. Yeah, but sometimes certain huskies are can get a little bigger, and those might be more Malamute mixes, sure. Um, But I mean, well, I mean, look at your boys. Christy has two huskies, and one of them is bigger than the other. Uh, Nash is bigger than Ace. At least he looks bigger than Ace. Isn't that because isn't he like part Malamute? Yeah, there you go. So it's not poofy. It looks more lab to me. Ah, right on. So it looks like a big lab. Infused oil. Ah, gotcha. Noodles is chonky cow. She keeps calling her dog a chonky cow because he's white with like black spots. He kind of looks like a cow. But he's not fat, so I don't know why she insists on calling the dog a cow. Um, it is a weird husky in the sense that it's the very quiet, and maybe it's just because of me. Whenever I'm near that dog will put his face like right here, but he won't lick me. He'll just put his face there. I'm like, what do you what? What do you want? And he's like just checking me out. He's kind of like all it almost feels like he wants to lick me, but he's like, maybe I should bite you, but I don't know what to do here. I'm just gonna put my face to make sure that you're okay. And it's hilarious, but also like irritating because I'm like, what? Just make up your mind, man. But like I said, it's entertaining. I love those dogs. And then her other one likes to speak to me, and I like to sing back to him, and we harmonize our howls. It's because he don't call your dog thick with two C's. That's weird. Dumb as a bag of hammers. Oh, that's what if I ever one day do get myself a husky or a like one of those wolf type dogs, I want one with the icy blue eyes. Like Christie's husky Ace has the icy blue eyes. I shit. Wait, no, you already have a shit bird too, or just a mean bird. All these mean animals. I tried to get the boys to agree to us putting a snake around, just like because again we were having a mouse problem at one point, and it was getting on my fucking nerves, um, because it seemed like when we put out like certain traps they weren't working, and it was just getting on my nerves. So I said maybe we should get a snake and just let the snake roam around, and that snake will take care of the rodent problem real quick. That didn't go over well. And they're like, yeah, no, we're not going to do that because we're going to walk into the house and one day a snake's just going to like show up, like freak us out. It's like, yeah, okay. Jared is just trying. Yeah, okay, fair enough. Any seasonal songs hit you this week? Well, oh, are you asking because you listened to my last episode of Rome? Rantings of a Maniac when I discussed said things? Um, well, let's see. I did start listening to a bit of Opeth, which is very goth. Um, so I guess yeah. No songs in particular, but I tell you, I'm still my favorite song right now is "After Dark" by Mr. Kitty, which I you could I don't know if I would say that's a seasonal song. That's more of an everyday, all day, or just like any time of the year song. Uh, cool. Thank you for listening. So seasonal songs, yeah. Like I said, started listening to a little bit of Opeths, and they're very goth, so it reminded me of their music gives me the sense of walking in walking in the woods with dead leaves everywhere. Uh, so goth. So yeah, listening to a little bit of that. No, like I said, no songs in particular. I don't think actually. Let's consult the Spotify real quick. I can give you a better. Oh, you know what? I listened today. What song really, and maybe it's just because of this nostalgia, but what song really makes me think of the fall weather because of my youth is the song Spiders by System of a Down from their first album. I listened to whatever people told me to this one. Good on you. Also, I went back and listened to. Oh yes, okay. So I listened to Spiders by System of a Down. That put me in a fall mood, if nothing else, because it just reminded me of the days back when. Um, but Left Behind, the song Left Behind by Slipknot from their Iowa album. That whole album is straight up fall. Some people might say like, well, it's Slipknot, so they're metal, and they made they cut their teeth on during the fall season, or I'm sorry, the festival season, which is the summer. So you might say, okay, well, that's a summer thing. Like, no, Iowa feels like fall because it's also a creepy album, and Left Behind, just it's one of their singles. There's a few other songs that are probably a little more autumn esque, I would say, but that one for sure. But these are metal, so if you don't want metal, started to listen to a lot more of. Oh, okay, I got you. Big Empty by Stone Temple Pilots. It's you know it from, I mean, it was one of their biggest hits they ever had. You know it from the Crow soundtrack, which the Crow soundtrack alone, just listen to that. You want like a Halloween slash autumn seasonal playlist, just listen to that soundtrack because that it nails it. Like every song nails it. Big Empty from STP is among one of the great tracks, I think. And that song definitely puts me in sort of a fall mood. Although I can listen to it during the summer and be just I can be okay with it. But yeah, so there you go. Go ahead and go down memory lane, listen to those because those are some older songs. If you want something new, it's hard to say. There's a few songs on the new Deftones album that can be very autumn esque. But I it's still that album still kind of feels like a summer album to me. And I'm still working my way through it. I've listened to it all the way through twice, and for me, I have to listen to it all the way through several more times to really figure out how I feel about an album. I don't do that with all bands. I do that with the ones that mean a lot to me. And Deftones being my favorite band, I have to do that with each album. McGee recommends Old Handsaw Candy Corn playlist. Well, I don't know if I can get behind that because Candy Corn is garbage. So Uh, I have been getting into a lot of Catatonia, which is another kind of goth band. They're more. I don't know if they would be considered seasonal, but there's one album in particular that kind of sets the mood for. I want to sit in a dark room and away from the cold, and knowing that I'm gonna have to like get out later and just kind of make my way through the darkness when it's cold. Um, with my hoodie on, whatever. And like I don't know, it's weird to describe, but yeah, like these sometimes music puts me in this very specific mindset. And that album from Catatonia, which is called the Great Cold Distance, actually. Um, that whole album makes me think of that. You know, it makes me think of being somewhere where it's dark and it's a little chilly out. So I got my hoodie out, and I just don't want to be bothered. So I'm just gonna like kind of make my way throughout, just away. Which sounds depressing, but I mean, well, it's autumn, Sets the mood for human sacrifice. No, that's the black metal, and that happens in the wintertime. So along with the doom. Like the doom metal will set the stage because it's a slow process because doom metal's slow. Um, and then when the black metal hits, that's when it's like, no, it's all ritualistic. Okay. You want something good to listen to that's seasonal? Chelsea Wolf. There you go. Chelsea Wolf. I personally don't think there's a bad time to listen to Chelsea Wolf, but when you start hearing her songs, you go, oh, okay. Sorry, my calendar's. Well, I mean, I guess you just want to get your ritualistic sacrificing on. I get it. Patience is a virtue, though. But yeah, Chelsea Wolf. I recommend that. I recommend her. I think it's called "Pain Is Beauty." Is the album that's the album I got into her. It's one of her. It might be her third or fourth album. Let me check my work. Pain is Beauty from 2013. It is her third album. Okay. I recommend that one as a good start, and then you can just kind of jump right into the one after that called Abyss, because that one's got some really, really good tracks on it. And she's this goth lady who kind of does this mix of doom metal and electronica, but then also just like slow rock or piano, like Tori Amos esque. She doesn't have the voice like Tori Amos, and it's not piano heavy like Tori, but the stylistic aesthetics are similar. Tori Amos is another one I recommend. Working on my virtues, patience. Hey man, look, I'm not gonna preach to anyone about patience because I have zero patience. Anyone will tell you. Christy will tell you. He's got to snap that husky. But yeah, that's I recommend that. I should probably maybe I'll make a playlist of some examples, and then I'll put it out on Twitter and stuff. Maybe I'll do that. It takes time, It's like putting together a mixtape that we used to do back in the day, or putting together a mix CD. Um, a good mixtape for we'll just call it mixtape for the sake of everything. Like a good mixtape takes it's got to be very well thought out, and you have to paint a portrait. Maybe you tell a story with your playlist. That's what I would try to do when I make playlists, whether I was making a mixtape or not. I try to tell a story within it. Um, do I always get that story across? Probably not, but that's just the way I operate. McGee likes playlists and mixtapes. See, she knows. I'm checking out some of those. Yeah, do it, man. Yeah. So yeah, I should do that. If y'all want to see me do that, let me know. I think I will. Um, and I'm always working on my. I have a list called Macabre, which anything that's kind of creepy and Halloween esque that we can use at a party that doesn't directly use like Halloween songs like Monster Mash or something stupid like that, or like theme songs to like the Halloween. I love the Halloween theme by John Carpenter, but the Macabre list I want to make actual songs that put off the vibe of Halloween. You know what I mean? So it's creepy, and so it's sort of like fits the motif. Like I've got Arthur Brown on there. I've got Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds. I've got Ghost, Rob Zombie, Typo Negative, Screaming Jay Hawkins, things like that. Um, so I'm always working on that because inevitably someone will ask me some good like Halloween type songs to play, and I go, well, here's something that'll put you in the mood. Make a perfect playlist, and then they hit shuffle. I know. Well, hey, look, I'm guilty of that sometimes. Sometimes I know what songs I want in my list. I just don't know what order they need to be in. So I will hit shuffle because sometimes shuffle gets it right. Sometimes shuffle knows the order it needs to be in before you know. Sometimes, not always. Like if you want to tell a particular story or theme with your mix, as anyone making a good mix will do, obviously you don't hit shuffle. For me, sometimes when I'm making a particular list, when I know what songs need to be on it and I don't know the order, I will hit shuffle just to get a better idea. And then sometimes that shuffle will help me go, I see what you did. So I'm going to do this instead. Or I like what you did here. So I'm going to take that, but then I'm going to do this. And, sometimes it helps. Sometimes it helps. I don't know why are you yikesing? Oh, I have playlists named after ex-girlfriends. No, never do that. Never do that. You know why? Because eventually you're not going to be able to listen to the lists. It could be a really good playlist, and because it's named after an ex, you may not be able to listen to it because you don't want the association. Take it from experience. It's like, I mean, you're old Hanshaw, so I don't have to tell you about things like that. I'm just saying, as someone who has made that rookie error before, don't do it. It took me a long time from a past relationship a long time ago to listen to certain bands that I used to love because I couldn't, because the association was too close. Boys ruin all the songs. We do not. Shut up. I take umbrage with that. Great umbrage. Oh, hang on. But yeah, I wouldn't recommend naming the list after exes. That's just a recipe for disaster. But also, if you have a list that only specifically reminds you of an ex, you should probably just get rid of that list. What does a COVID-19 playlist consist of? Is it just songs that make you sick? That would be my COVID playlist. Like songs that make me sick. Here you go. Here's take that Corona. Oh boy. A friend of mine sent me a snap of two white girls rapping. No thank you. 2020 music. Yeah, no, I can't do 2020 like if it's like popular 2020 music, no, I can't do it. Can't do it. I am so not into what is popular right now. I haven't been into popular music probably since the 2000s, like the early aughts. After that, I was just kind of like every once in a while I'll hear something that's popular, but I mean, I don't listen to pop music. I don't listen to the radio. I don't follow those trends. I found my specific niche, stuck with it, and then I'll find this other niche and I'll go down that rabbit hole for a while, and then I'm good. Put that all together, and then I'll go down the nostalgic rabbit holes every once in a while. Otherwise, anything new that's popular, I usually tend to hate pretty quickly because it's just like I don't like it. I don't like it. So it's funny when people find out I'm a musician, they ask me about new artists that are really popular, and they go, "You know that song by so and so, so and so?" I'm like, "I have no idea what you just said." And they look at me like I'm crazy. Like, how do you not know? It's like because I don't listen to that. I didn't know who Charlie Puth was for a long time, and people looked at me like I was crazy. Um, the only reason I knew who Shawn Mendes was is because of his one song. When I had satellite radio, they played it on there's a station called The Coffee Shop, which is all acoustic rock, and one of his songs he did acoustically. So that station played it a lot, and I said that song's not bad. And then I heard the full studio version of the song and went, "Ugh, gross. No, don't ever do that again." Who? Shawn? Yeah, exactly. But apparently Shawn Mendes, that's he's some kid that people love. But if not for that station, I wouldn't have found out who Ed Sheeran was. But they played him a lot. And they played him a lot before he got ridiculously popular. Um and I thought his songs were okay. And then now so I know who he is because of that, but I mean, had I not had that station and heard the songs from him back then, I wouldn't. I would only know that he's this ginger pop star. That's all. That would be all I would know. Um, but yeah, I only know who Billie Eilish is because nobody shuts up about Billie Eilish, and I think I was in Hot Topic at one point when her album came out, and the cover of her album, she's got like dead white eyes and she looks crazy. And I just assumed that, oh, okay, so is this some new rock chick, some new like rock album or metal or something like that based on the cover? And then I heard it and I said, what the hell is this? It's like her music sounds so sleepy. Like she sounds like she's putting herself to sleep. But people love it. They're like, oh, I love her voice. I'm like, okay. And then I read the content of her music and I went, she's not even an adult. And she, like, I don't know. I just, something about it bothered me. It just, if people like it, it's fine. Eventually I have to get to a point to where I say, you know what? I'm glad you all like this stuff. It's not my cup of tea. So that's fine. It's not for me. I'm not the audience. So cool. But I get upset when people and my devices especially try to shove all this the what's popular right now down my throat, and then it really bothers me when I live in a town full of musicians who are trying so hard to stay on top of what's popular because like that's what sells. Like, yeah, but you're sacrificing integrity to try and make a buck. And that's the thing, try, because you don't know. Like none of you out there know what's going to happen. You don't know that it may work for these people. It's not going to work for you. You don't know that because that's not your style. You're just trying to uh, get a piece of what's hot right now. You want to taste the flavor of the week. And that's just not the way it goes sometimes. Sometimes you can't. You can chase it all you want but you're never going to attain it. Show this devices buzz. Hey man, look, I will and I do. I don't want to get rid of Spotify, but there's going to come a point to where I think I'm going to have to because I don't like the business model that the powers that be have taken on Spotify. I don't like the fact that the artists don't get full compensation like they should. And it's tricky because of streaming versus selling records and all that jazz. I know, but based on what I've researched and based on, what I'm hearing, I might have to transfer over to Apple Music. It would cost the same, and the way I understand it, the artists get like for every stream of a different artist, they get full revenue for said stream. So what's super popular on Spotify, if that is super popular on Apple Music, they're going to get paid a lot more via Apple Music because Spotify takes like huge percentages off, which is not a good thing. But the problem is Spotify is doing really well in the podcasting game. So there could come a time if people really start diving off of it because of the music thing, Spotify could be the podcast app. They could be the one because they house a lot. They sponsor a lot of their own. They basically have a network of podcasts by themselves, and a lot of them that they sponsor are super popular. So they're doing fine. And I love using it because it's easy and I can usually find everything I need. But sometimes I can't. With Apple Music, evidently you can find literally everything, and it goes through the proper channels. So it's one of those dilemmas I have to deal with when I start putting out original content on Spotify and I start seeing the difference firsthand. That might sway me, but I don't know. And that's just me talking out loud because, yeah. But I think we do speaking of podcasts, I think our network does pretty well via Spotify, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not the one with those numbers. You would have to ask the producers. But yeah. So I don't want to get rid of the point is I don't want to get rid of Spotify because I enjoy using it and it's been super helpful and it's super easy. But like I said, I don't like the business model that they take with it. So anyway, whatever point I had to make with all that is moot. So how are we doing out there? Everyone good? Because we are just about we are approaching the 2 hour mark. That came really quick actually. So we're gonna wrap it up here. Very shortly. So you're awake. I'm shocked. I am shocked you're awake. The Wonka bar has not taken you out completely. Good job, McGee. I play you guys through Spotify. Right, yeah, and honestly, when I'm playing back our shows that we put out, because I do that, because I like to hear the finished product. Um, I will usually play it through Spotify first, just because I know I'm going to go to Spotify anyway. During my routines, sometimes if I'm uh but sometimes I'll go to Apple Podcasts and stream it through there. Um, it just depends on the moment. But yeah, getting sleepy. I bet you are. Yeah, I'm actually kind of shocked you're not asleep either there. Old handsaw's still going. Cool, cool. You guys are good. We're all good. We're feeling it. We're feeling it. But hey, look, it would be such a trip for everyone to just watch me completely just get tanked and decompress on here via live stream, because I've done it before. You can go back and check out some of the live shows that I've done, and it's just been a mess. I think at one point I did nothing but Bobcat Goldthwait impressions for the last hour. Uh and and I'm sure people were in time. Apple has the best 2 times speed. Oh, that's right. McGee listens to all the podcasts like super fast, and that's weird. I don't know why she does that, which is why we like to mess with her and talk real slow on the on our show, because we know she's listening, and if we slow our voices down real quick, it'll throw her off, and that makes us laugh because we sound silly, but we know why we're doing it, and it I'm sure drives McGee crazy when we do that. But hey, it is what it is. Yeah, you know what? Let's wrap this up, you guys. The final note is, I wish I could take a victory sip, but I'm out and I don't have any ice. So yeah, you know what? Okay, I'll do it neat, just a tiny, like maybe 2 fingers. Yeah, okay. If nothing else, after this, I'll just put some ice in it. But here we go. Yeah. See, yeah. It freaks her out, and we love freaking out McGee. It's one of our favorite pastimes over at the Pants panel. And speaking of that, hey, you guys, most of you listening already know this, but to those of you watching this back, if you do, uh, hang on, we put Christy to sleep with the music talk. Actually, we didn't, because she knows that's her thing. Just to hi Danielle. Um, just 2 fingers. No, usually I've got about 3 fingers in here, but I don't have any ice in here currently right now, so I'm like, I don't want to. It's just best I don't drink it neat with 3 full fingers. So we'll see. But anyway, thank you for joining. I'm sorry you caught the tail end of it, but you can go back and watch a little bit if you want to. And to all of you, if you are not in the know, as some of these people are, tune in to the Feeding the Monster podcast feed. We are on every platform you can find podcasts. We have like a whole heap of shows to keep you entertained. Our main show, Are We Wearing Pants? We have everyone involved on the panel, and it's just a comedy sort of what's going on in the world. How can we what fucked up thing can we talk about today that's just going to throw everyone off for a loop? And it's good for people who wake up super early like Christy, that need to be jolted awake with high class entertainment. And that's what we provide for you. You can check me out on the feed with Rantings of a Maniac podcast every other Wednesday. I find a topic, I rant about it, and we just we go from there. What else here? Oh, and if you're obviously we're here on the YouTube channel, check out the other shows, The Truly Bizarre World, The Backdoor Cover. Football season is here. We got it. Despite all my protests of saying we weren't going to get it, we got it. And John and Corey get down and talk about the week, each week, what the games are, what the matchups are, who they have, who they favor, and chances are they usually talk shit about my Patriots. So I will always be in the chat yelling at them. Tune in for that because that's a fun time. I missed the last episode they did, but it doesn't matter. So tune into that, and of course, I try to do this every Friday. I know I've been lacking the last couple weeks, but there's good reasons behind it. So trying to get back on it. We're not at the bars yet, you guys. It's still kind of crazy out here. So that's why I provide you with the bar type entertainment here at the Friday Night Dive. Conversations, drinks, and maybe a few laughs here and there. So I hope that I provided you with entertainment. If you're tuning into this at the end, go back and listen to my story of the War of the Wasps. I think that's probably the highlight of the video, if I'm just being honest. That's just a good story, and I enjoy telling it. So, I raise the glass, a toast to all of you for joining me. Thank you so much, and here's to you for next week. Here's to you for everyone, and have a good weekend. Be safe, be cautious, and remember. I don't know where I was going with that. Just be safe, everybody, and thank you for joining me. So, with that, have a good night, have a good sleep, have a good drink, and if you're too drunk to drive, call a Lyft, call an Uber, call a friend. Whatever. Just most of you are probably at home anyway, but if you go out later, you can blame it on me later if you get trashed. It's like it's Mark's fault. He wouldn't shut up, and I just had to keep drinking him away. It's like I get it, but get yourself home safely. All right. Good night, everybody. Have a good evening.